Hello and welcome back, everybody. What a day it's been, and we're only halfway through. We're actually less than halfway through. Our next match is probably going to be no different. It's Imperial versus Fraternitas, and wow, what can we say about this one? I think that this one is probably going to be more one-sided. I think that we're probably going to see a scoreline like we saw earlier from Gux and Friends. I think that Fraternitas are heavily the worst team in our competition. No flame, but I think that they definitely are the worst team by far that we've got coming into this one. I don't think that this is going to be necessarily close. Saying that, having that been said, Imperial have been very shaky today. They lost against Gux and Friends earlier, they lost against Comanche earlier, sorry, who just beat Gux and Friends as well. So we've got to put a bit of sway on that. We've got to say that Gux and Friends, by Imperial, have lost already. They've lost the map already. They could be feeling kind of shaky. They might be feeling like they might be burnt out by playing like 6 or 7 maps of Counter-Strike today. I feel like this definitely isn't a done deal, but I think that there's probably an 85% odds chance that Imperial wins this one. I think that Fraternitas have almost no chance. However, we've already seen me go out on a whim and say, Comanche have no chance against Imperial. We already said that earlier today, and Imperial ended up winning that one, losing that one. So could definitely happen again, but I think that we're talking about two teams who are on completely different levels here. I think that Comanche and Fraternitas, they are very different levels of opposition. I think that when we're talking about a team like Fraternitas, they're maybe like completely unranked in the global scene, and when you're talking about someone like Gux in Friends or someone like Comanche, they're around this 200 150th team in the world rank. Like if we're going on just overall form and overall recent form and just who they're playing and how they're playing. So both of these teams definitely do have the potential to break out onto the tier, I don't even know if we could say tier 2, but break out solidly onto the tier 3, lower end of tier 2 level of Counter-Strike. If we're counting tier 1 as the whole of ESL Pro League, and tier 2 is the whole of maybe like ESEA Premier, like if we're sectioning it off like this, then these guys are solidly tier 3. But I know that other people say that tier 1 might be like the top 10 or the top 20 or the top 15, and then tier 2. So those boundaries definitely shift around depending on who you are. I think that my boundaries are probably a little bit wider, saying that I don't want to call a team like tier 6. I'd rather have everybody in the top 3, top 4 tiers. But I think that we are seeing like tier 2 opposition, like Imperial, tier 2, tier 3, against solidly tier 4 opposition, like Fraternitas, and Gux and Friends is probably not like tier 2 opposition, are they? However, in this match, obviously the loser goes home. It's a best of one. We've seen Imperial be upset already in a best of one, so could definitely happen again. It's only the opposing team only has to win 16 rounds, and then it's all over. So in terms of prediction, I think that Imperial probably take this one 16-4. I think that if Fraternitas get 4 to 8 rounds between that, then they can be happy about that and they can go home with something to work with. If it's another 16-3 or even worse, then they haven't really learnt much from today. They haven't learnt how do we actually take rounds. If it's a set strat, I'd like to see Fraternitas really try out and really flex their muscles, bring everything into this best of one, whilst they're playing like much better, statistically better opposition. I want to see them try that stuff out. I want to see them try out the executes. And yeah, we've seen 3 matches all on Mirage already today. So maybe we'll see some Mirage again. Both of these teams obviously not scared to play it. I don't know if Imperial will be banning it out in search for another map. I kind of hope so. I want to see a bit of variety on today's stream. But that being said, like, competitive integrity has to take priority in that respect. So if they're going to go for Mirage again, then that's great. If that's what both of these teams really want. But we have got a little bit of time left, so go place your bets on that match wherever you do that. And I've got one other thing to tell you whilst we're on a break. We've got the 1v1 caster challenge later on today. So it's a 1v1 against myself, and you can use !CME in the chat. And it's absolutely free to enter. And if you beat me, you get one of these two skins. It's a Stat Track Emperor 1S Decimator Factory New or Shadow Daggers Forest Duty Putt Field Tested. Subscribers have a higher chance of winning, and if you beat me, you can win one of these awesome skins. Go register on ChallengeME.gg while you're at it, because they've really helped us out, and they've got 1v1 angels, they've got 2v2 angels, they've got a nice wide range of stat tracking as well to track how well you're actually doing in 1v1, and it's a really genuinely good way to improve. We're going to play some later tonight, and I'm going to kick some ass in the office. However, we have got a game of Counter-Strike coming up right up next, and the loser does get eliminated, so it's all to play for. Imperial versus Fraternitas, and a lot of people might say that this one's already over. Can we see on a betting site what the odds actually are? Should we see? What are the odds, boys? What are the odds? I took a cheeky peek at the admin chat as well while I was at it, just to see if we've got any information about this upcoming match, but we haven't quite just yet. So Imperial with 73% chance, and I would say that that would be a good bet for Imperial. I think that's good. That's a good return for that team against Fraternitas. I don't think that Frat has a 27% chance to win this match at all. I think that instead Imperial probably has more like an 85+% chance of winning this best of one. I don't think that it's at all even, and I don't think that this is even going to be a close match. But yeah, this match was scheduled to go live 5 minutes ago, so I don't know if you can even put bets on it anymore, but go ahead and have a little try. And then we've obviously got more matches coming up later. We've got Gucks and Friends versus the winner of this match. So they just won our they just lost our winner. They just lost the round 2 winners match. So that means that they got put into round 3. The winner of that round gets put into our best of 3 grand final later tonight at about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock CST after our 1v1 caster challenge, !CME, to get put in the hat to win that one. While I'm at it, while I'm plugging, I might as well give a shout out to NobleChairs. You can get 10% off their black and red Epic Gaming chairs using code Noble ELC, and obviously thanks to them for supporting our stream. Really appreciate it. Go show them some love, even if it's on social media to say like ELC sent me here. That's really genuinely appreciated over by us. However, Imperial versus Frat is our next game, and on Imperial's side, the reason why they are that wasn't me, that was my chair, I promise. The reason why they are probably going to be such a convincing scoreline this match is because they're not just because they're overall better, but maybe we should touch on that first. They've got players like Victor and Bubble and Spellin, players who have been playing on the scene for years and years, players who are routinely just stamping these guys out of, or this tier of opposition out of Balkan tournaments to make the finals consistently of these online tournaments. And I don't see why it would be any different today, even though they've lost one best of one. I don't think it really matters, because earlier If they lose, they get down to the losers bracket. Here, if they lose, they're out of the tournament. They have no chance of coming to our LAN. They have no chance of even making any money from being here. It would be a complete waste of time. I don't think that they would have even learnt much from playing this Comanche team and then Fraternitas. I don't think that that would be a successful day at all. However, we've got to look at it. We've got to look at it like this. Now the pressure's really on. If they lose, they don't have any chance of making it to our Final Four, making it to our Final 2 LAN. And they'll be playing seriously. They'll be giving it their all in every single game from here on out. And if the Comanche victory earlier was a spoiler because Comanche played better, then surely we'll see that in the final later today. If it was just Imperial was a lot worse, then we'll see about that as well. Looks like we're going to be playing on Overpass, so this is nice. I know a lot of Christ, this is nice. A lot of the Balkan teams really like playing Overpass. I know Outlaws, sorry, who we saw rinse the competition yesterday. They love playing Overpass. Everybody banned it against them because they're so good on it. But I would say that if Imperial is practicing against Outlaws all the time on Overpass, then this is probably going to be a pretty one-sided game. I think that that their practice on this map will really show through. I don't see any world in which Fraternitas can win an Overpass against this Imperial team. I think that we are getting into the knife round right now. But yeah, this is likely going to be probably going to be a pretty one-sided affair. So yeah, this knife round's going on, looking to try and win this, and yeah, looks like Fraternitas are going to win this one. So Imperial don't get that favoured side that they really wanted. I don't think it'll really matter to them because I think Imperial would want the T side anyway, but Fraternitas would want the CT side. But Overpass is one of those maps that you can definitely lock down a CT-sided defense and really close the opposition out of the map. Getting right in live now with the pistol round, nice and early, nice and easy. In Imperial, straight over with one player over towards B, but everybody else is spreading all across this map. So playing a normal default with Dreamer just poking his way into B. He's trying to look for the crucial first headshot, the opening onto this bomb site, and he finds it as well. There's 90 damage onto DKN. He's sent running away with his tail between his legs to actually regain some sort of position. I'd like to see DKN probably just play a headshot angle now and level up the playing field. So a clock has to hit a headshot against him hitting a headshot with the USP. Over Imperial, they've rotated back over towards the A site, and if Fraternitas got at all queasy about that headshot being hit, they could have definitely over-rotated, overextended to counter these pushes. But Bubble, he's getting very close onto this site, but Spy Leader's going to hit the shot anyway. Bubble tapping, but it's Shemeta to find that frag. Even Stevens is at 3 versus 3 as the bomb goes down, trying to find these shots. Noted needs a headshot here, but it's going to be Shemeta with a fadeaway dinks to take Noted down. Fraternitas need to get back onto this bomb site, but they have got a kit to do it with. It's Pechin. 5 seconds before this bomb's defused. Is he actually holding it? No, they're both going for these kills. And Pechin and DKN both find frags, and he needs to get on this bomb right now. Victor finds one, and this bomb's actually being defused. Needs to peek it right now. He needs to hit the headshot, but Pechin finds it. Gets the defuse as well. 1-0 for Frat. Oh, Imperial's going to be feeling the pressure. Losing the pistol round, they really do rely on strong T sides to to really make up for their weaker CT house. We saw that earlier on Mirage, only taking 5 rounds and ending the game kind of close on 13. So they took 8 T rounds, which is way more than average. Shows us how close these guys are. I think that was a big fundamental mistake from Frag to get that aggressive against Imperial. They find 1 and 2 kills. There's Spy Leader as well with a headshot. The CZ reigning supreme in Connector. Fraternitas, they need to play a much more passive game. They need to not play into Imperial's hands like they've been doing. Otherwise, they're going to be absolutely punished. Oh, he can hear these footsteps coming. I can certainly hear them. And there's a reload as well. So they're going to walk straight past him. Surely they don't check this angle. They go past quietly, but it's just pistols. 2, 3! All headshots! Mostly warbangs. And he bails his team out. Here's the 4th as well. DKN to find that. And this has put them right back in the round. Petchin finds the 5th. And Frat save themselves. That triple kill. Beautiful. Nuts. Imperial with the 5 Tech 9 setup. They bought straight back into this one. Twice in a row. Remember. And normally you would save the second round and buy AK-47s this time, but Twist with a P90. Is he actually just going to tear these pistols apart? Yes, he is for 2. He wants to be good for 3 as well, but Imperial don't have any more players in Connector. I feel like that P90 reigning supreme in Connector is just a given at this point through those tight angles, close choke points. Imperial playing a much more passive setup, 1 man down, trying to catch a member of Fraternitas out, but they're not going to get over aggressive. They're not going to give anything away. 2-0. They don't want it to be 2-1. They want to extend their lead. Schmetter goes for this peek, and he hasn't spotted out DKN, who's playing pretty close in Connector. Frat can collapse onto long at any moment, and it seems like DKN might even go for this rotation pretty soon. I don't know when he can especially go for it, but finally gets dropped. Victor with 2 amazing P2, well no, M4 headshots, sorry. Schmetter as well, these Tech 9s doing a lot of damage. Twist has a chance here, has the 1, does big damage onto Victor. Throws the flash out as well. He's got 50 HP and there's a big chance of him making this ace clutch here. And he's got so many bullets left. 25 bullets and does find the 4th as well. Is this really going to be the ace? Needs to check this angle and he hasn't found it. Bubble. Oh, does get tagged down to 0. Twist finds it and that's the P90. Disgusting ace. And Frat, how do they keep staying alive? Ace clutch for Twist. Nevertheless, it's an eco. Oh no, it is a buy, sorry, for Imperial. They've got 5 weapons. Fraternitas 3-0. And Frag does find the first, with the AWP getting aggressive and taking damage for it, but he stays alive. That's the most crucial point to note. He's got the AWP, he's able to fall back directly to the A site. He can just play this AWP and bank. He can play a head glitch angle, he can do whatever the hell he likes. And there's nothing Imperial can do about it. 4 AK-47s. And they have got HEs, so Frag has to be careful that he doesn't eat one. There's a P90 again. DKN loves this weapon. Just gets traded on, but Imperial, they're actually just going to get shut down here. They have the A site. The bomb going to go down very shortly, but Imperial with a man disadvantage, the health deficit. Need to make this clutch work to put their first round on the board, but Frat, they're close, hot on their heels. Victor finds in second, and he's on 100 HP. Pekin right behind him. Switched out to the AK-47 as well. 15 bullets left is more than enough. But Bubble, he snuck through past his smoke and does get tagged down. Pekin finds it. A crucial double to keep Frat a clean sheet. Yeah, picks up the AWP as well. There's an AK and an AWP save for Frat. So although they haven't been surviving with lots of players, if we actually look at the scoreboard, they survive with one player in the pistol round, one player in the second round, one player in the third round, and only two in the fourth. So they've got barely any money left in this fifth round. If Imperial take the win here, and you see that they keep force buying up, they're persistent, causing this pressure and rubbing salt in the wound of Frat. Yeah, they take 3 or 4 rounds. As soon as Imperial win one, they're going to force this eco out. One, effectively worth 2 here. Playing a 3-2 setup, I think, with Pekin boosted up. Spy Leader drops, and that's a crucial entry kill for Frat. We saw it earlier that they weren't getting those entries at all, and we were thinking that Frat were just going to be down and out in this game. We thought that they were barely even going to take 4 rounds, but already they're 4 up and likely going to take the 5th here if they can hold this one-man advantage. Imperial, what can they do about it? The answer is straight to the B site. Need to hit some headshots, so Victor going to be the first man trying to hit this. Dreamer with one, Victor with another. Frat's B defense has been neutralized as Victor nails another head, puts him on a spike. 4-0 is the scoreline, but Imperial trying to make it 4-1. Frat being the last man alive, and a 1v3 with just an AWP. Needs to find a shot very quickly, otherwise he's going to be forced to save against these 3 AK-47s. They can just post a defense, don't have to peek. And Fragged, he doesn't even have to go for this. They've got barely any weaponry, barely any money. This is a big risk, and he is going in for this one. He has got a kit. There's the first straight through the side of the wall. Victor and Dreamer have to be careful. That smoke is up, and he could definitely do this, but Victor has a perfect angle to punish. A headshot, a kill, a round. Imperial take 1. Frat 4-1, and they're keeping the pressure up as well. Neither of these teams wanting to concede early. And what that means for anybody who's new is both of these teams are constantly applying this initial pressure. Both of these teams are not ecoing, which means that they're keeping economical pressure on the enemy. So when they lose one, they're forced to eco. This is a scrimmy play that you see on almost every map at the top tier, like Virtus Pro, for instance, will go for questionable buys because they want to keep the initial pressure on. Spy Leader going to cut Twist to pieces. And Connector is such an important area of the map for the T side. It gives you access to rotate to either bomb site. With a CT and Connector, they know that it's probably not going to be a B push. You can jump, peek into water and see. Is it a B push? Is it not? And Imperial 2 men up here. They could definitely find themselves 2 rounds to the good. For have a 2-1 setup though. And Imperial definitely do have to break in if they want to take another round. And with Pekin, he's not quite rotated just yet, but Imperial straight onto this site. It's going to have to be big frags from Frat if they are going to take this round in any stretch of the imagination. The bomb goes down and Imperial will find themselves in a 5v3 retake. And this is easy enough. Imperial don't have to peek here, and Frat will be all down and out, just saving these Steagles. Saving the UMP. And Imperial don't have the money to actually go for this. Because of the economical pressure that I've been hyping up over the last couple of minutes, they don't actually have any money to go for these weapons. So yeah, they would like to take the UMP out of the hands of Pekin. They would like to remove these 2 Deagles from the server, but it's not going to happen. It's Imperial. Don't have the money to lose the rifles themselves. Maybe Spy Leader could have went for something with the MAC-10, and obviously you get the additional kill bonus as well, but it's just throwing away Kevlar, throwing away a MAC-10. It's unnecessary investment into a lost cause. Fraternitas, they are 2 rounds up and haven't really invested around these saved weapons. Pekin has the UMP, so if they could establish some sort of control around him, it is connector control, so I like this. They're setting up in a crucial clutch part of the map where he can rotate over towards A if he needs somebody on the flank, or he can burst into B if they need more assistance via water. The Imperial don't think they're going to get caught out, and Spy Leader spots the leg, finds damage but no kill. The Streamer spots out and eliminates the UMP, but also gets removed by DKN's Deagle, who salvages an AK-47 for himself and fragged. Oh, he spotted him, and the knife is out, finds it, Victor drops. He's got to be pissed. I don't know many Bulgarian swear words, but I'm sure whatever team speak they're in right now is filled with them. 2 versus 3 in Frat. Oh, fragged. Could have lost his life there. Lucky to be alive. He's still got the AK-47, 48 HP, but gets tagged down to 0 by Shemeta. Shemeta? And look at this. Moving over towards the B side. Frat, they might actually have Twist coming in for this one. And is he actually making sound? I don't think so. So he's in a great position, both! 2 for 1 for him. Shemeta drops the headshot previously. Bubble loses his life as well. Nuts. The P250 does the damage. The first was a headshot through the legs. And then... oh. Wow, wow, wee wow. See you later, mate. 5 AK-47s onto Imperial. They're not flustered by the knives, by the P250s, by the ecos. They're not flustered at all. Instead, it's Fraternitas. They have to apply some more pressure if they want to force an eco out of this Bulgarian side, and I don't even know if they're going to do it at this point. Imperial just seem to be buying after buy after buy. It's such a weird style of counter-striking. Fraternitas could eliminate our favourites instantly. 16 rounds, that's it. Dreamer blasts DKN out the server, does a lot of damage to Pekin as well, but trade is there, and Victor just buying a headshot. Seems a little bit slow there. Like, I don't like to criticize players on their aim or anything like that, but Victor did seem a little slow on the mark. Maybe looking in, maybe his eyes were focused on a different direction, but that certainly wasn't slow. Spawning out Pekin, hitting the shots as well. And this is a 3v2, but an even 3v2 as the health advantage is toward Fraternitas' side. And there's the man with all the health gone, eliminated from the server. Bubble drops. And now it's just 4 and 28 HP onto Dreamer and Victor respectively. Need to get onto the site though, as Twist is the only man with the kit. And they haven't spotted anybody out just yet. Imperial can just wait for this. And in Victor, he peeks at just the right time. One, no! Almost the defuse. That must have been the last second, but Twist does drop as well. Imperial find it. Victor finds the spray down. And you saw, although he saw the guy at the front, he was shooting past him, over towards the bomb site, over towards the bomb, even though he didn't have good vision, because it was blocked by his teammate HE, ironically. He still tried to stop that bomb defuse from happening, inadvertently taking both kills. Fraternitas, all this economical pressure has forced them to eco, so Imperial's force buying finally pays off. If you lose multiple force buys in a row, it obviously gives Fraternitas good opportunities to take round after round because each individual round is easier. But as soon as Imperial wins one marginally more difficult round, they force an eco. They find two. So it's a positive EV play for them. However, if they don't win any of the 4 spies, they find themselves 5-1 down, 5-2 down. Spy leader going to be the first man onto this site, and he's probably going to be able to tear these CTs to shreds. It's going to be Twist, the only man with armor. How lucky is that? An Imperial with just AK-47s left. And the advantage of that is he only gives away a MAC-10 as well. It's out of range for the Frat members to pick up. However, Imperial making their way onto the A-bomb site. This Twist gone. He was on barely any HP anyway, but that's TKN dropped as well. Victor, he's a monster just overall. He is pretty nuts. He's been a player on the watch list for Tier 1 Counter-Strike for 4 years now. He shows us why with some of these headshots. He's got some of the best aim in the game, really. And I'm not even over-exaggerating. His aim is literally phenomenal. 5-3. Likely going to be 5-4 here. As Frat have gone for the pause. I think that this could be a tactical. Could be a technical. I think a team like Frat definitely don't need to be worried right now, but this is the perfect time to take a tactical pause to discuss what's gone wrong in the last 2 or 3 rounds. And remember, Imperial, they're actually doing quite well now. They've taken 4 out of the last 5. That's good momentum. And you see their money. After winning one of those 4 spies, it means that you can just get your economy snowballing. And they've survived the last couple with really decisively. 4 players left, 2 players left, 5 players left in the previous one as well. So they've survived with 9 players left amongst those two rounds, the 2-1-2 rounds. And yeah, Fraternitas has actually confirmed that this is a tactical pause. So what would you be talking about? You need to be maybe adjusting your setup. But I feel like Imperial have to play a slow round here. Frat will likely do something to mix it up, to get themselves back in the driver's seat, and they've not really got too much money to force their way back into this match. So it's not like they're going to buy like the double AWP setup and hold just a standard pincer. But I would say for Frat, either do something to mix it up. I don't think that's going to work. So my like advice based on what I've seen this game is save it here. You don't need to buy into this next round. Put an eco in, get the AWPs. And they're not really investing too much, so looks like that's what they could be doing. Yeah, both these teams seem ready. Let's go, go, go. Both these teams don't have money right now, but after this round's over, round 11 will be a full buy round, and we'll probably see 1 or 2 AWPs from the Frat side. And the AWPs are so effective on overpass, and remember Frag's AWP earlier, picking up those entry frags? That's what earned them those 4 rounds, those 5 rounds. They need to just keep rolling with this. And if they can manage that, then yeah, they could post themselves a 9-10 round half. However, against Imperial, they seem quite hot. I don't think they're going to be able to just bully them out of this server. Got 1,000 people joining us once again. Welcome aboard, guys, to the ELC train. This is Legend Series Group B, remember. If you've got any questions, you can type it in the chat. I love to answer chat questions. I like to feel important, so come on, boost my ego a little bit and ask me a question about myself. Like what I look like or something. I know you learn what I look like my favourite food or something. Just ask me a question, boys. Either way, Imperial, it's a 2v2 this time. And Victor finds another one. That's a double for him. And Peckin, he's on the flank. He's fast on the flank. No trigger discipline, finds that headshot right off the bat. and it's him versus Dreamer. But Dreamer's such an intelligent player. He must have the advantage here. And remember, he's not using any of his nades to grab that bomb, so he's got them in the after plan, and he's going to rotate straight back over towards the A site. Pekin has no idea that this is coming. Must know that the bomb's gone at this point, but Dreamer's outplayed him. He's totally outplayed him. Frat's rotate is like 15-20 seconds to get back onto this bomb site, and he still doesn't know that it's A. He's slowly making his way in, picks up a defuse kit. The one advantage that Pekin has is, well, after he throwed that flash, Dreamer has zero idea where he's coming from, so Pekin could definitely have been like in the back of long, but no, he's made noise with the AK-47, and you see that bomb's already far ticked. Dreamer only has to play time for very little time now, and there comes the follow-up hold, and Dreamer, oh, does get tagged down, but Pekin misses the defuse. I don't think it would have mattered, but 5-5 as he drops as well, so everybody dies. Complete carnage. I don't think holding that bomb there would have been the difference maker, but he did miss it. It's important to say. Could definitely be feeling the pressure. But that headshot was gorgeous. Dreamer just hit the dirt straight away. Frat playing exactly the style of Counter-Strike that I asked for them to play. I wanted them to go for this passive style with the aggressive AWP and mix it up a little bit and do what they found so much success doing earlier. Frag puts out an initial flashbang, but gets peeked straight back by Shemeta, who feels supremely confident right now. There's the smoke, there's the bomb plan. Frat a man down. This is a difficult retake once again. It's Imperial just seem to be going through the motions, not doing anything exceptionally intelligent. However, Frat, if they want to keep the pressure up, winning this clutch will be a prime way to do it. But Imperial, how are they going to eliminate 4 players from the server? Don't think it's going to happen. Dreamer finds the first. It's a meaty headshot. Here goes the bomb as well. Is he defusing it right now? Pekin finally drops. Victor finding the clutch shot onto Pekin. And they all had kits as well, so it's a 5-second defuse. And that 5 seconds can be very... We've fired 30 bullets in about 5 seconds, so it can feel like a very long time when you're spraying all of those bullets and none of them are connecting. But Imperial finally in the lead of one of these maps. And Frat, yeah, they did have the initial advantage, but now that's all dissipated. It's all said and done. It's all gone. As Imperial showing us what they're made of. Not a strong Imperial by any way of saying it. Imperial have looked pretty weak all day, considering that these teams are pretty much unranked. There's no point even ranking them. And Imperial are like top 35, top 40. This is definitely not what you want. If you're the Imperial side, you don't want any of these matches going long. So, and considering that they're going to probably have to play 3 matches in a row if they win this one and then win the next one, that'll be 3 in a row before the grand final. That's a lot of Counter-Strike. Not finds the 1D. Dreamer trades it back. That AK-47 is vicious against the pistols. Bubble finds another one as well, and Imperial just, as I said before, going through the motions, just tearing the way through onto the A site. This bomb finds its way on with very little resistance. Shemeta takes a bullet to the face, but here comes the nade, and it's a touchdown. DKN gets blown to pieces. 5-7's our scoreline. Imperial, they've won the last 7 out of 8 rounds, so the momentum definitely in their favour, and this is why they're so dangerous on the T side. This is really reminiscent of the old EFrag days as well, when it was this 4-man roster, this 4-man core without Shemeta. They used to be able to win one of these pistol rounds, one of these ecos, one of these 4 spies, and then just roll through you with the AK-47s. Fragged, gets fragged. This gives Imperial the man advantage. This could definitely be a 10-5 half. And Imperial, unlike the abysmal CT side we saw earlier on Mirage, they would need to post somewhat of a scoreline. However, it's definitely not awful. It's definitely not a terrible position to be in. There's an AWP on the floor if they want to run an AWP, but they don't even need it. Victor just peek into these angles, and you see he had no support there. So if he hits that frag, fine. Yeah, you're 2 men up. But if you don't hit that frag, and you don't find any kill or even damage, then it levels the playing field. Players like Victor need to be on point. Frat with the nades can still hold Imperial out of this A bomb site for a little while longer. DKN does have a Molotov to put down. When's he going to place it is the question. I don't think there's going to be the difference maker against so many Imperial players. I think that they can just flood this bomb site, and they're about to make their way on. Spy Leader finds the first frag. DKN hits the dirt as well. Pekin, the last player alive, and he's got an AWP. There's no chance he's going to go for this one. See you later, mate. Back to saving, back to T-spawn, and this time Imperial do have the money to hunt. It's Bubble looking for the fight, looking for Pekin. This is such a common spot for a CT on B to hold as well. Maybe too predictable. But along this, by these stairs, I don't even know if this has got a name it's used so uncommonly. This could definitely be countered out by Bubble. You see he's checking every single one of these angles, not looking towards where Pekin's playing though. There's the one, but now Imperial, they've got about 5 to 10 seconds to find this one through. There's the flashbang. He does get flashed. Can he find it? Yeah, Shemeta. The vision isn't that good when you're fighting into T-spawn. It's a very unconventional angle to have to play an Angel from, but does find the frag anyway. And Frat don't have that AWP to play with, don't have that threat that Frags would be playing right now. He would be going for one of those aggressive AWP duels. However, he's got a Deagle, the hand cannon, the one-hand AWP. But Imperial already making their way onto the P site. Shemeta, yeah, he's tearing his way through as well, and they know that there's one more over at Barrels, and as soon as Twist peeks, he's going to get annihilated. Look, here come the nades as well. Absolutely getting naded to pieces. Twist does find one and actually makes his way out of that. They're nicely done. Imperial should have had his number, but finally they find him, and Frag, being the last player alive, can't do anything. 5-9 as Imperial take an even greater lead. Fraternitas, they're 5 players down, and no, they're not. What am I on about? They're 5 rounds to the good, and no squid, no bad mistakes, no bad mistakes. My bus just hit me. 9-5 is the scoreline, and Frat, as I predicted earlier, this could be this 10-5 scoreline that we were talking about. And Imperial looking really strong. This isn't the Imperial that we saw earlier on Mirage. This is a brand new Bulgarian. Well, it's physically the players, but this isn't the team that we saw earlier at all. This is almost a brand new Bulgarian side. And Frat, they seem to have nothing against them. They won the first 4, and then as of then it's been 1 more. And as we approach the business end of this half, Imperial could double the scoreline and dwarf the scoreline of Frat, who are playing a pretty passive style. They've got this AWP once again, and the man advantage. Fragged is so good at getting these aggressive picks. I wanted to see him do it way more, and I don't think that the reason that they've not really done very well is because of him. Even though he's only got 9 frags, they've all been impact, whereas a lot of his team's frags have been exit frags and just not the impact frags that you really want. Imperial, 1 man down, finally deciding with 20 seconds left to go into this A site. Here comes the push, and Frat, they're nowhere to be seen on this A site, so this could be a free bomb planted. It is from Imperial. Going through the wall bangs, but not connecting. Frat need to make a push now, but these nades are going to keep them out for days, and Imperial still just throwing out those 2 Molotovs. That's going to buy them 10 seconds. on this bomb, and it's going to be very far ticked by the time this 5 Frat players get in, and Frag does finally find a wallbang. But Imperial, still with 3 players left, could definitely make this work. Victor finds one. Shen with a double spray down. It's just Bubble left, and both of these players are low. Could do this, but with the smoke up, Frat, are they just going to go for this? Yes. DKN finds a crucial shot. That's 6 rounds for them. Big round for Frat. Difference between 5 to 10. Well, the difference between Imperial making double digits and not making double digits is really big, because we know how weak their CT side can sometimes be. We saw it on Mirage, we could see it once again here, but Frat, they've got to post a big score. 9 to stay alive, 10 to take it. And on the T side of Overpass, that's actually more than you could normally expect. Spy leader looking for the headshots, but he's missing and whiffing. Peckin finds one of his own in Imperial. 1 man down, need to make this retake work, and they haven't got a kit in their hands, so unless Spy leader had one, yeah, and he did. Victor just picked it up as they make their way back down. 2 frags very quickly, looking for the 3rd as well on this site. Needs to get out of cover, but Notes drops. Just Twist left, 1v4. This was a devastating retake by Imperial. As this bomb gets defused, Imperial played that perfectly. That's what you want to see on a pistol round. 10 rounds now, finally making double digits. Imperial, it's been a long time coming since they've been ahead in a series. They finally make it. $1,200 people still watching. This is awesome. We love you. We appreciate you. Invite your friends as well, and we can appreciate them as well. And remember, we've got a caster challenge coming up. It's !CME in chat if you want to play 1v1 on stream later today. And yeah, that's really interesting. You should definitely get in on that. And Frat, unless Dreamer can go huge here, he's not going to prevent this bomb plant. And he does go huge, apparently. 3 kills in 3 seconds. That's massive. And Frat, it's going to cost them $3,000 amongst their 5 players. Stopping a bomb plant is so big, and $900 in his pocket as well as a kill bonus. And he's got this bomb on lockdown, this site totally under wraps. And 6 to 11, Imperial close to knocking Frat out. And although this seemed like Frat was posting good numbers earlier, they've cooled off. Imperial have stepped up. This is what we want to see from the Bulgarian side. This is them coming to play, and they haven't even got their AWP out yet. We know how dangerous they can be with a 1-AWP 4 rifle setup. Instead, it's the Famous in 4. Oh no, burning alive fragged! Takes 100 damage from Spy Leaders. Molotov. No, 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 you can't do that. This is big mistakes being made by Frat. He gets caught and flashed and mollied and just baited and burnt to a crisp. Oh, Imperial. If they weren't ahead before, they certainly are now. And remember that this isn't like a small deal either. This is a really big deal. Losing a player and 40 HP on a second in such a crucial round. Like if Frat lose this, they're down 12, 13 to 6, something like that. That's not a good scoreline to be at. Especially on against a decent Imperial side. Like they're not on form, I wouldn't say just yet. I think that we have to give them another map or two before we can say that they're actually on form. We have to see all of their star players really fragging. Like, it's been only Victor so far, and he's just dropped. So Spy Leader has to pick up the pieces. It's Bobble instead with a nice set piece. It's just Swiss left, and he's found himself onto this site. Didn't actually spot the Shadow out. So he's making so much noise, and Spy Leader just playing games with him. 10 seconds left, and over top of the box as well. Perfectly played. That's so intelligent from Spy Leader to not lose his life and to keep 4 players alive for Imperial. They could have definitely lost 2 people there. We saw on the scoreboard just said that Spy Leader and Bubble both on 8 and 9 kills apiece. That's not enough. Pardon me. For such good players, they definitely can't be 17 kills between 2 players in 19 rounds. Just like 0.5 ADR or AKR each is not good. It's just not good. Or KPR, whatever you want to call it. Whatever your acronym is, mate. Whatever your acronyms are. Frat. Another eco round. They haven't even got body armor this time, so the likelihood of them actually making a play off the back of this is very slim. And Imperial, you see, they're just playing a very passive setup. They're playing this one to the book. They know that if they win this, they're so far ahead, and Frat have to play a picture-perfect game to be in with a chance of not getting eliminated in 4th and final place in Group B. Leader finds a nice kill, spots the shadows. It's such an effective position. And you just see, this eco round was crushed and demolished. Frat just walked right into the grinder there. Imperial, they're very close to just taking this. Taking this 16-6 very likely at this point. Frat more or less have one last chance to get back in this match. Otherwise, it's a difficult decision whether they're going to save 15 rounds or just force buy into it. And Dreamer shots in with a follow-up nade, finds Peckin. And this push might be demolished as well. Imperial have a perfect setup to counter this. Not only finds the one in Dreamer, he's the next to peek in. Those nades doing so much damage as well. Frat on almost no health, and Dreamer seals the deal 14-6 as Imperial. This is a demolishing defense here on Overpass. And Frat, 10 out of 11 it has to be. Otherwise, see you later, they're going home. 10 out of 10, actually. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, one of them to get overtime or a straight-up match win. But I don't think it's going to happen because Imperial have looked so strong as of late. And Bubble on fire. Is he really on fire? Nah, not really. He's 9 kills, mate. Just the AWP in his hand. He's so good with this AWP. So it's a shame that we haven't really seen him play to the best of his ability during this game, but maybe later. Maybe in the follow-up matches. Definitely find something. Spy Leader hits a headshot, fragged, drops, and that could be the beginning of the end for Team Frat as Victor, oh, almost a second as well, holds it down, holds down the line, and Spy Leader and Bubble both playing together. This is the perfect Bulgarian teamwork that we saw from Outlaws yesterday and Imperial today. Match point. And it's 9 of them. Frat have to take 9 in a row to make overtime. I don't think it's going to happen. They've got AK-47s on all 5 members to make this one work, but it's a long way away, and it starts with this B push. They've got all 5 members towards this portion of the map. Imperial haven't taken map control over towards A, so they don't know that it's coming, but they do nevertheless have 3 players here to greet this 5-man push. But you see Frat, they've got exactly 2 nades left. It's 1 flashbang, a smoke, far from optimal to make a push with. And they might decide to even fall back off this. DKN making footsteps as well, trying to boost over, and they actually made noise, so Imperial probably won't be fooled by this one. Spy Leader, does actually spot one through, and Imperial are actually fooled by it. Peck and drops though, and Dreamer trades it out. Spy Leader with one as well, through the smoke, does the damage, but no frags. A 2 versus 3, and Imperial tries to make their way back in, but Victor is here to save the day, cuts out the flank, and Bubble, he's got to knock down somebody, and he does. Ends the map in style. 2 kills, flames and an AWP, the combination from hell. 16-6 solidifies a win for Team Imperial. So a big win, a crucial win for Imperial just then. Otherwise, they'd have been out of the tournament. Instead, it's Frat. They leave us in last place, 4th place in Group B. It's a shame because they actually showed us something of promise at the start of that map. So I would say, like, definitely go back and watch that, see what you did well at the start of that map. But it was just the piston and the follow-up. So I don't really know how much they can take away from that, winning only 9 rounds in the 2 maps that they played, losing both of their matches. First against Gucks and Friends, the second against Team Imperial, who are our number 1 seed, although they did lose that first match against Comanche. So, after you haven't said the name of that team for like 5 or so minutes, it's difficult to gain your rhythm again. However, we will be back in about 5 minutes for Gucks and Friends versus Imperial. This is going to be a really good match, I think. I think that this is going to be one of the headliners for today. Who will make it through to our grand final of Group B later today? See you in just 5 minutes for the conclusion.